The FDI class is one of the most fascinating warships today, not only because of its advanced capabilities, but also due to its striking appearance. Named after the initials of Frégate de Défense et d'Intervention, meaning defense and intervention frigate, this surface combatant was developed to complement the FRAM class in both the French Navy and the international market. As a weapon detective, we're now investigating the FDI class, the French ironclad-looking beauty. The FDI class is the most attractive frigate in recent designs, at least we believe so. In his famous quote, the inventor and businessman William Powell Lear says, "If it looks good, it flies good." So, being good looking makes a surface combatant good as well. Before analyzing that, let's first examine the history and features of the FDI class. Jointly developed by France and Italy, the Horizon-class destroyers offered impressive combat capabilities, but they were too expensive. Consequently, unlike the original plan, these two nations reduced the number of ships to be built from 4 to 2 for each country. Then, they started working on the FRAM-class frigates as a more affordable alternative. The partners initially regarded the results as satisfactory. However, France ultimately deemed the ship too large and expensive. As a result, the French Navy reduced the number of planned FRAM-class frigates, known locally as the Aquitaine class, from 17 to 11, and then further down to 8 in 2015. However, according to the White Paper on Defense and National Security of 2013, the Navy required 15 first-class frigates to operate effectively. To reach this figure, Paris announced the launch of the 5-ship Frégate de taille intermédiaire, meaning medium-sized frigate or FTI program, on May 29, 2015, which was later renamed as FDI. The new surface combatant would replace the Lafayette-class frigates by 2035. DCNS, now known as Naval Group, revealed its solution at Euronaval 2016. France awarded a contract to the company for the development and construction efforts on April 21, 2017, and ordered 5 FDI-class ships, locally defined as the Amiral Ronarc'h class. The lead frigate of the class, Amiral Ronarc'h, was laid down on December 17, 2021 and launched on November 7, 2022. Naval Group delivered her to the French Navy on October 17, 2025 for post-acceptance sea trials. She is scheduled to be commissioned in the summer of 2026. The final frigate, Amiral Cabani, is set to join the fleet in 2032. By the mid-2010s, Greece began seeking a replacement for the aging Cortiner-class frigates, locally known as the Eli-class. After considering several options, including the FRAM, Sigma 11515, HF2, and Arrowhead 140 classes, the Hellenic Navy ultimately selected the export version of the FDI, the Belharra-class, in 2021. On March 24, 2022, Greece signed an agreement with the Naval Group for 3 ships with an option for 1 additional ship. These vessels are locally referred to as Kimon-class. On April 16, 2025, Greece approved the procurement of the 4th frigate. According to the agreement, Greek companies are participating not only in the construction of Greek frigates, but also in the French ones, including building pre-outfitted blocks at Salamis shipyards, which will be sent to France for assembly. The lead ship of the class, HS Kimon, was laid down on October 21, 2022 and launched on September 28, 2023. Naval Group delivered her to the Hellenic Navy for sea trials on October 31, 2025. She is commissioned on December 18, 2025. The final vessel in the class, HS Themis Tokilis, is projected to join the fleet in 2028 or 2029. To reduce acquisition costs and delivery times, the FDI-class frigates are being constructed without some of the initially planned equipment. For example, the initial vessels, defined as the Standard 1 configuration, feature a 16-cell vertical launching system or VLS rather than a 32-cell one. Like this one, many other subsystems will be installed on the ships later. Similarly, the first 2 Greek frigates are equipped with a 16-cell VLS and do not have a RIM-116C Ram Block 2B. France delivered HS Kimon in a hybrid Standard 2 configuration, meaning that she's essentially a Standard 1 with the systems installed but not yet activated. By 2027, they will be equipped with a second 16-cell VLS and the Ram. This configuration is known as the Standard 2. The final two Greek vessels will be built as Standard 2s. By 2030, all frigates will attain Standard 2++ capabilities, including new weaponry and electronics. Based on the Naval Group's previous Frégate Modulaire 400 design, the FDI-class is smaller than the Fram-class but has comparable combat capability. Its stealthy design, featuring an inverted bow, gives the ship a quite attractive shape. The inverted bow does not cause slamming in heavy seas and reduces vibrations, thereby increasing durability and crew comfort. Also, it substantially enhances stealth, stability, and seakeeping, while maximizing the length of the waterline and thus the hull speed, often offering better hydrodynamic drag than conventional bows. However, this design has very limited reserve buoyancy, tends to dive under the waves rather than pierce or go over them, and generates substantial fog on the bridge windows. The modular design of the FDI-class can be easily configured to meet user requirements and is highly adaptable for future equipment. In addition to a twin rudder at the stern, the frigate features two bow rudders, enhancing maneuverability, alongside a single bow thruster. Its endurance lasts for 45 days. The crew comprises a 15-person aviation detachment, and the ship provides living space for another 25 people, such as civilians involved in disaster or evacuation operations, or a special forces group. The FDI-class includes a sickbay with 2 medical beds, radiology, and ultrasound equipment. The French Navy will deploy either an NH-90 or H-160M Guépard and one VSR-700 on its Amiral Ronarc'h class frigates. The Hellenic Navy's Kimon-class vessels will accommodate one MH-60 Romeo Seahawk and one Schiphol Camcopter S-100. The ship can operate the helicopter and the unmanned aerial vehicle at up to Sea State 5. The complement of the Amiral Ronarc'h class is 125 people. The frigate has a length of 122 meters, a beam of 17.7 meters, and a draught of 6.4 meters. Its fully loaded displacement is 4,460 tons. The ship has four 10,750 horsepower MTU 16V 8000 M91L diesel engines in Korat configuration, providing a maximum speed of 27 knots. The Amiral Ronarc'h class has a range of 5,000 nautical miles, equivalent to 9,300 kilometers, at an economical speed of 15 knots. The frigate has the S-band Seafire fully digital multifunction radar with 4 fixed antennas. Its detection ranges are 500 km for aerial targets and 80 km for surface targets. Capable of tracking 800 objects simultaneously, the radar also functions as a fire control system for Aster missiles. The FDI class has King Clip Mark II hull-mounted sonar and a compact version of the Kaptas towed array sonar. The initial ships are being equipped with a 16-cell SYLVER A50 VLS capable of launching Aster 15 and 30 air defense missiles. They will later receive a second SYLVER A50, like the subsequent vessels, increasing missile capacity to 32. The anti-ballistic missile defense-capable Aster 30 has a speed of Mach 4.5 and a maximum range of 120 km. The Aster 15 air defense missile has a maximum range of 30 km, a speed of Mach 3, and a 15 kg warhead. In 2024, the Hellenic Navy announced its plan to equip the 3rd and 4th Kimon-class frigates with an 8-cell SYLVER A70 VLS capable of launching MdCN cruise missiles with a range of 1,000 km and a speed of Mach 0.65. If realized, their Aster capabilities will be reduced to 24. The FDI class has 8 land attack capable MM40 Exocet Block 3C with a maximum range of 180 to 200 km. The anti-ship missile possesses a 165 kg penetration warhead and a speed of Mach 0.9. The Kimon-class will be later equipped with an RIM-116C Ram Block 2B. This advanced variant fires missiles with a 4-axis independent control actuator system, enabling counter-maneuverability. The missile also features improved passive radar homing and an infrared guidance system, allowing the interception of stealth targets. It has an effective range of over 9 km and a speed of over Mach 2. The FDI-class has a 76mm Super Rapido bow gun with an effective range of 16 km and a rate of fire of 120 rounds per minute. The Amiral Ronarc'h class is equipped with two 20mm Narwhal 20B remotely controlled weapon stations. They have a rate of fire of 800 rounds per minute and an effective range of 1,500 meters against aerial targets. The Kimon-class has two 20mm Lionfish remotely controlled weapon stations. They have a rate of fire of 100 to 300 rounds per minute and an effective range of 2,000 meters. The FDI-class is equipped with two 324mm twin torpedo tubes for the MU-90 torpedo, which has a 32.7 kg shape charge warhead. Its maximum range is 23 km and it surpasses 50 knots in speed. The MU-90 is capable of engaging a target at a depth of 1000 meters. Similar to the Aquitaine and Horizon classes, the French definition of the FDI class is a frigate de première garde, meaning a first-rank frigate. The French Navy assigns pennant numbers to such ships starting with D, which is typical for destroyers in other navies. We can simply say that frigate de première garde is actually a destroyer. Nevertheless, the FDI class is replacing the Lafayette class, a frigate de deuxième garde, meaning second-rank frigate. And yes, the French Navy assigns these types of vessels a pennant number beginning with F, highlighting their genuine frigate classification. The FDI class is a frigate with the capabilities of a destroyer. To achieve this, the ship must be equipped with more weapons and more advanced sensors, both of which are heavier, thereby increasing the vessel's displacement and size. If we possess a surface combatant that is as capable as a destroyer, as costly as a destroyer, and as large as a destroyer, then why do we accept it as a frigate? Nevertheless, this is not a problem exclusive to the FDI class. We believe many modern frigates on the market face similar definitional issues. On the other hand, Japan, the Netherlands, South Korea, and Turkey continue to build frigates that adhere more closely to traditional definitions. One of the main goals of the FDI program was to develop a warship for potential buyers seeking a less capable, more affordable alternative to the Frame class. For now, it has not unfolded as planned. Who wouldn't want a more capable ship? The answer is a nation that doesn't need such power and naturally doesn't want to pay more for it. Additionally, a 4,500-ton frigate has a deeper draught than a 3,000-ton one, making her less suitable for shallow littoral waters or archipelagos like the Aegean or Baltic seas. So why has Greece chosen the Belharra-class? Everyone knows the first answer. Greece relies on France and Germany politically, economically, and militarily, which influences its procurement decisions. Since Germany did not provide a ship to replace the LA-class, Athens chose France willingly. We use the word willingly in a semi-sarcastic manner. Germany could, of course, offer some frigates, but the Hellenic Navy indeed needed an Aster destroyer, not a frigate, to address the newly emerged threats. Everyone also knows that Greece's primary threat perception is Turkey. Until the late 2010s, the Hellenic Navy had prepared against aggression from the other side of the Aegean Sea. Many advanced air defense systems, including the Patriot and the Hellenic Air Force, would provide necessary air cover for the Greek fleet. Then, new natural gas and petrol reservoirs have been discovered around Cyprus, and these two nations have found a new cause for rivalry, as if the previous ones weren't enough. Now, the Hellenic Navy has to confront the Turkish armed forces beyond its land-based air defense missile coverage and will receive less support from the Air Force. The Kimon-class will fill this gap with its Aster missiles. Besides, the Aster will provide a floating anti-ballistic missile capability in the Aegean Sea to protect the mainland against recently introduced Turkish-made missiles. Thus, Greece's choice is strategically sound from a military perspective rather than a purely political or economic necessity. Sweden is also considering acquiring the FDI class. While the Baltic Sea may not be ideal for a heavy ship, the frigate could serve effectively as a floating Aster base to defend the mainland from potential missile attacks. Many sources also state that Indonesia is contemplating the acquisition of the FDI-class as well. Overall, our analysis suggests that the FDI-class has strayed from its original marketing plan. However, being different is not inherently bad. Some nations indeed require such a warship. Nevertheless, it is worth watching such beautiful Amiral Ronarc'h and Kimon classes at sea. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel. And as always, we would greatly appreciate all of your likes, comments and shares.